Hello, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about surrender. And I know that, a lot of you are curious, like, what is surrender? How do we surrender? Why do we even need to surrender? And in the end of this episode, I'm actually going to answer some of your questions. You sent them over to me on Instagram. But before, I start answering your questions, I want to share a story. And that was the story, the experience that actually allowed me to understand what is surrender, why is it so important to surrender, like, and how do we actually do it, and what kind of results we can expect from surrender. So we're going to go back to 2020. You know that end of 2019 was the time when I started, learning about manifestation, doing inner work. There were a lot of things that were not working for me and my husband, as in like the business was not working, and that was a really like a challenging time for us, even though on the outside everything seemed perfect. So end of 2019 we started working on our mindset, healing and things like that. And and then 2020, the beginning of 2020, what happened, the world shut down. And I always share that, everyone was in this kind of shock and panic. And surprisingly, we were not, because we started this inner journey, and I think it helped us a lot. And even our business was like growing more than ever. And so that year, 2020, within months after we started doing all the inner work and, going deeper, learning what manifestation is, we manifested, and I always talk about this, I manifested my biggest dream. Like, I always wanted to live in Europe, and you probably know that I was like literally obsessed with it. Like, I wanted to move there so badly, and I tried for almost like 10 years. Think I have like an episode about it. I tried for like almost 10 years, and it just didn't happen because I thought that, I had to get a job there, and, my path was completely different. But anyway, so I'm starting to get a sore throat from talking. I've been filming content these last days, so maybe that's why. Anyway, so now this is like October, I think, 2020. We officially have an invitation from Portugal to move there, to come and start our project. We had a startup idea. And so we were literally invited to come move to Portugal, start a project here, set up our company, etc., etc. We have the paper. But still, in order to travel, we need to get a visa. And there was a specific type of visa that we had to get. I think it was D7, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay. So to get the visa, you need to, collect like documents and go to the embassy, submit your application. It's an easier process because obviously you have an invitation, everything is official. But there's no Portuguese embassy in our country. It's the middle of the pandemic. The borders everywhere are, well, they weren't closed, but Europe, like the European borders, for sure they were closed to anyone coming from outside of Europe. So now we're like, okay, there's no embassy in our country. And I'm not going to go too much into detail, but we had to travel to two different countries to submit our visa applications, come back, wait for like up to 90 days, and then go back and get our official like visas. So this is the pandemic, right? Every time you travel, you have to take a test, then you get there. So like we had to take God knows how many, like we would have to take so many tests. The risk of, getting a negative or positive test, right? And being stuck in one of those countries was huge, obviously, you never know. And so we didn't like the idea of this whole, traveling in the middle of this chaos. And also, like, we sat and we literally calculated how much it's going to cost us just to go and apply for a visa, come back, and then go again. And that was around like 4 or 5,000 euros. So we're like, this is crazy. Just to apply for a visa, I mean, I have an official invitation. Why do I have to do this, right? And so we're like talking to these embassies and we're like, no, but there has to be a way. And we're like, trying to figure out a way. And all they're saying is, no, this is the only way. There's no other way. So now we're like, okay, it's been a month since we got the invite. And, moving to another country for us, at least, is super easy. You just pack your bags and go, right? But now this whole visa thing is creating a lot of obstacles. And now I want to remind you that this is still the beginning of our like manifestation journey, as in like we're still like just at the beginning, learning things and we're still stressed. There's still a lot going on. There's still the business, etc. So we're like, okay, seems like, there's no other way. Let's, buy our tickets, book our hotels, and travel to these two countries, apply, come back, and see what happens next. My husband was 1,000,000% against this whole idea. And he was like, that's not how it's supposed to be. I don't want to do this. I ended up convincing him. Not a good idea. But anyway, so now we need to travel in 2 days. We booked everything, but now we have to take a test. On the morning of that day when we were supposed to go and take a test, I'm feeling sick. And I'm like, no, 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 this can't be happening, right? I mean, we've been at home the whole time. Like, how can I be feeling sick? Anyway, we go and do the test. We come back in a couple of hours. My test is positive. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? How did this happen? So I don't believe this. Like, we are like angry, stressed, arguing. I'm like, no, no, there has to be a mistake. Then I go to another place. I take the test again. It comes back positive again. My husband is like, I knew we don't have to go. I told you, you were not listening to me, blah, blah, blah. Now we're arguing. On top of that, we're like stuck at home now. We're not allowed to leave. We had to rebook the whole thing. Well, first we had to cancel. Now we're thinking, okay, let's wait for 2 weeks. And the thing is, my husband's test came out negative, right? So it's just me. And I'm kind of feeling sick, but I'm like, I'm not really sick. Like, it was really weird. And so now we're stuck at home for 2 weeks and we're pissed off. So we, I think we rescheduled all the flights, etc., to happen in like after 2 weeks. Now, day 14, right? So now I'm like, we're supposed to stay at home for 2 weeks. We're not allowed to leave. It's day 14. My husband is still feeling good, so we're like, okay, probably he didn't get it. Day 14 or 15, he suddenly loses his sense of taste, sense of smell, and we're like, oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Now it's him, and now we're stuck at home again for another 2 weeks. If a family member was sick, you were not allowed to leave. So now we're stuck at home again, and now we're canceling everything. Like, we're not rescheduling anymore. We're like, we sat there, we thought like, this is not happening. My husband is like, you know what? I don't care how this thing is going to be solved. I am not traveling to two countries just to apply for a visa. And he's like, I am firm. I made a decision. I don't care how. There has to be a way. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like, at that point, I'm still like, I'm like, how? Like, I don't know how, but like there's no other way, right? It's obvious that we're not supposed to go. That we seriously figured out like twice. Obviously, there's something that we're not seeing. So now, this is like the end of the year, right? New Year's, blah blah blah. So while we were at home, we started literally emailing every single embassy, European embassy in our country. Like, this is our situation. We don't want to be traveling. It's risky. Um, like, can we do it somehow? Can we do it from our own city, like in our own country? Like, there has to be a way. And all of them are like, no, we're sorry. There's no way. So we're like, there has to be a way. It can't be like, and we are very like, how do I put like, because like through our business journey, we're the kind of people that always find a solution to any kind of problem, even when, like even when like hundreds of people come to us and they're like, it doesn't work that way, like it's not going to happen, we end up finding a solution. So in our minds, we're like, we're the kind of people that find a solution. There has to be a way. So now we're looking for different like agencies and organizations and people and whatever, like everywhere. People who could find a solution to us. But like we're getting tired from people being like, literally, I'm quoting, people who are like, there has to be a miracle for you to be able to solve it some other way. This is the only way. You have to travel to two different countries, apply, come back. This is the only way. And these people are professionals. They've had people move to Portugal or other European countries through similar programs or even through the same, like startup visa program. And we're contacting people not in our country, right? Because in our country, I don't think anyone from our country ever came to Portugal, moved to Portugal through that program. And we're like looking like in the region, like in somewhere like in other countries where people probably faced a similar situation, right? We're looking into countries, into like Facebook groups, and like, there are people from other countries also messaging us. Like we probably like wrote in all these Facebook groups, like, has anyone faced anything similar? And people are like, yeah, 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 but there was no other way and we're still waiting. We can't figure it out either. And I'm telling you, people were like, there has to, and not one, like many people were like, there has to be a miracle for you to be able to solve this in a different way. So now my husband and I are like, okay, and we're trying all these things, but it's draining. Like the energy of us emailing people, trying to find a solution is very heavy. Like we're getting tired of this. Like it just doesn't make any sense. We have the invitation. Why does it have to be so hard? And so now it's mid-February, and I remember this very, very clearly. Mid-February, it's Valentine's Day. We decide to do like a staycation in a hotel in our own town. We're like, we need to try something different. Let's use this Valentine's opportunity. We don't celebrate, but whatever. Let's go stay at a hotel and, change of air or whatever it's called. So now, and I remember this very, very clearly. We're talking about this whole thing, and I'm like, I don't remember if it was me or if it was my husband, but we were like, what if this thing is not happening? What if it's not meant to happen? Like, what if we're not meant to move to Portugal? Maybe it's not good for us. How do we know? Maybe, and our this is our like biggest dream, right? To move, to relocate to Europe, because I don't know, when your soul wants something, your soul wants it. There's no explanation. This is this burning desire that I've had for 10 years. So, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, maybe I am meant to live here in my own country for the rest of my life. How do I know? How can I know? Yes, God, I want to move so desperately. But how can I know? What if? What if all the dreams that I have are actually possible living in this country? And my husband and I were like, yeah, maybe we don't understand something. Maybe we just need to forget about this whole moving thing and focus on whatever is going on right now in the present moment. And yeah, maybe it's just not meant to happen. In that moment, and I'm telling you, this was not fake. This was not, oh, let's play around and kind of let go and see what happens. No, no, no. This was full surrender, full letting go of this obsessive idea that we have to move away, that relocation is suddenly going to make us happy, that the answer to all our problems is relocation. And it was really hard because after years of getting rejected, first of all, me trying to apply for jobs, then when my husband and I we got together, we had been applying to all these other startup programs for like 2 years straight after all the rejections. And I'm telling you, hundreds of rejection letters, hundreds of, calls and meetings and negotiations and all that. Rejection after rejection, nothing. And then suddenly we get an invitation in the most easiest way from Portugal because the process was super easy. Like it was almost like the universe opened its arms and embraced us. Like that's how the process of literally applying and getting accepted felt. Like it was so easy, so smooth. Like, and then now we're here and it's just not happening. And it's almost like you're holding this thing in your hands. It's almost in your hands, but it's not in your hands. And you're like, but why did I get this invitation then? Like, if I'm not meant to move, why? And yet, in that moment, we surrendered and said, maybe there's something better that we don't even know, we don't understand, we can't see. Let's just forget about this. Then, um, so that was 14th of February. Somewhere, I think it was 20 February 22nd or February 23rd. So we were reading this book. It's called Radical Forgiveness. It's not about forgiveness. It's radical forgiveness. And there was something about, how our souls, we choose certain, like we have soul contracts with certain people in our lives who have hurt us, who have caused us pain. And, in the end of the book, there was an exercise that was meant to help you like heal and, understand. And, anyway, it was like a deep exercise. February 23rd, I did that exercise. My husband did that exercise, like separately, obviously. And I let go of something that was really heavy on my chest. And then February 24th, the next day, I'm not kidding you, the next day, we received an email from one of the European embassies that previously told us that there's no way to solve this situation. That embassy sent us an email and said, well, we were able to get in contact with some people in Portugal. We spoke with them and, they gave us the green light. I'm getting emotional. They gave us the green light and I did not expect to be crying. Okay, so they gave us the green light and you guys can come and apply. We're going to give you a touristic visa for now, and then you can go to Portugal and, you know, whatever process is, you're going to go and do it in Portugal. And for now, you just can come and we're going to give you a Schengen visa. Yes, European borders are closed, but, we're going to do this exception for you. I can't believe I'm crying. We're going to do this exception for you. And just bring in whatever documents you have. You don't need to submit any, like, you don't need to like collect new documents because some of the documents they like expired throughout this whole process. And so just bring whatever you have. Um, yeah, and we're just sitting there in complete shock. Hundreds of people, officials, professionals told us there has to be a miracle for you to be able to do this. And we couldn't believe it. So on the day that we had to go submit our application, like our documents. It actually snowed. Like the city was a mess. There was snow everywhere. You couldn't get a taxi. I mean, we managed. I mean, for us it was pretty easy, but like I mean like the entire city was a chaos and yet we were there in like this blissful state. So we go to the embassy. There's like literally no one. I think they opened the embassy just for us. It was a consulate anyway. So we go there, we submit our documents. Super easy. Everyone's like chill. Everyone knows that they're expecting us. We come, we submit. And 1 week later, they email us like, you can come up and pick up your visas. 1 week. We didn't have to travel anywhere. We didn't have to do anything extra. We didn't have to like wait 90 days for whatever visa. 1 week. Easy, smooth. The moment we let go, we surrendered and said, whatever. Let the situation unfold whichever way it has to unfold. Maybe I don't know what's best for me. Maybe there's a bigger plan. Let the universe do whatever it has to do, and I'm just gonna let go. Wait. Mm, Yeah. Um, and I'm just gonna let go and see what happens. Because we were holding on to like what's the word? Like we were I can't remember, like our grip was so like strong on the situation, like we were really holding on to it and like trying to control it and trying to make it happen. The energy with which we were doing it was like, this has to happen. My life depends on this. If this doesn't happen, I'm never going to be happy. Like that was the energy, right? And the moment we let go, there was relief, the energy, right? Our energy changed from this has to happen, this is the only way, my life depends on it, to okay, let the universe take the lead. I've said what I want, right? I have set the intention of what I want to happen. I want to move there. I need to let go of when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. But really, in that moment, we literally let go of the outcome as well. Because maybe there wasn't like maybe there's a different way. And the moment we did that, everything started unfolding in a way, again, I consider it a miracle. And so we went there, we picked up our visas a week later. My husband was literally like, he kept on opening our passports like every 10 minutes, like looking at the visa, like, this is real, right? Like, we're going. And so we, when we were applying, we had to like buy our tickets, right? Well, we had our previous tickets, so we just had to change the dates. And so now it's like we picked the date randomly. I don't know why, April 1st. So now it's like end of February. We still have an entire month. We are over the moon. But now over the moon is, yeah, you can't explain even the feelings that we were feeling. There I am dreaming about this for 10 years, and now I have it. But the thing is, Europe was closed. Yeah, you have an invitation. Yes, you have a visa, but European borders are closed. And everywhere on like those official websites and stuff, they said that, yeah, even if you have a visa, even if you live in Europe, but you're coming to Europe, the workers, the borders, like the customs or whatever they're called, border control, yeah, they have the right to send you back because the situation is this and this, and and blah blah blah. So there's still like this possibility that maybe we go and they literally send us back. So now we have like 1 month. Every day I visualize the outcome, right? This episode is about surrender, but obviously, I'm going to go into other topics as well. So I don't even know how long this is going to be. Doesn't matter. Um, so I'm visualizing being there at the border control and, giving my passport, my, documents, and, I see the person on the other side of the glass, stamping my passport and saying, welcome to Portugal. I visualized, that moment. I visualized passing the border control and just standing there and waiting for my husband to come, because whenever we're passing border control, it's like I go first and then he comes next. Or I don't know, maybe we were there together. I can't remember. But anyway, I see myself passing first and then my husband coming, and I visualize myself telling him, "Oh my God, we're here." That was so smooth. The process, the traveling, like all the people that were saying like all these crazy stories of how they were not let in and all that you read on the internet. None of it was true. It was so smooth. We did it. I visualized, I relived that moment in my mind so many times. And so, but we still had a whole month, right? And somewhere like end of February, like 28th, 29th, right around my birthday's on 27th, we had suddenly this idea that, okay, um, what if before we move to Europe or like we go to Europe, we travel to Dubai just like a nice, vacation. It's been the pandemic has been like for like a year and a half. We haven't been anywhere. Let's treat ourselves. Let's do this. Um, but we're checking the flights and there are no direct flights. So I'm like, you know what? If we're meant to go, there will be a direct flight like now, like these days. If they open the direct flights, because it's literally like 2 hour flight, we're gonna go. If not, we're not gonna go because everything that was available was crazy. It was like 15-hour, like traveling half around the world to get to, to there, to Dubai. And so a week later, they open a direct flight. I mean, they reopen direct flights to Dubai. And I'm just like, obviously, it's a sign we need to go. And so we booked our flights, we booked our hotels for like 2 weeks. We went to Dubai. It was amazing. Um, I think it was one of our like most favorite trips ever. Dubai is amazing. You've never been there. Highly recommend. It's just different. And so now we're back from Dubai and we have like a week or so until April 1st. We're packing, blah blah blah. April 1st, we're traveling, but again, oh, by the way, when we went to Dubai, we had to do those tests again, right? Plus, we had to do a test upon arrival. Like, we did a test before traveling. We arrived at the airport, we did another test. We had to wait in the hotel for the results to come out, and then we were able to, be free. And then on the way back, we did another test. So, like, 3, 4 tests. Everything was fine, right? Now, the results are negative. So, so now we have to travel to Portugal. It's April 1st. Well, it was like March 30th, 30, yeah, 30th, I think. So now we're doing the test again, and my test comes out positive again. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? I'm like, I was just like, it hasn't even been like, it's been like 3 months since the last one. Like, you're kidding me, right? Like, what happened to the whole like you're not gonna get sick in it for another 6 months? Like, what the hell? And I'm feeling great. Like, I'm not feeling sick or anything. I am 1,000,000% sure that was a mistake or like in a system or something. And they were like, yeah, we can't do anything. You have to sit at home. And I'm like, can I redo the test? They're like, no, 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 you can't. You have to sit at home for another 2 weeks. So now it's like my husband and I were like, what is going on? Like, we have the visa, everything is fine. Why did that happen? Why is this happening? But now we're like, we've learned the lesson, right? So we're like, yeah, okay, let's just chill. You know, we rescheduled our this is like the fifth time we're rescheduling. So we're rescheduling our tickets to 16th, I think, of April. I need to close the door. It keeps on like making this noise. Anyway, I can't be bothered to stand, but you can hear it once in a while. Anyway, so now we have our tickets for 16th of April, and my husband didn't get sick, so it's just me. 2 weeks later, I'm totally fine. We go do the test again. They're both negative. We're like, finally, now we can go. But we don't understand. We're like, why? Why did this have to happen? And only when we arrived on the 16th, we realized why it happened. Because literally on the 16th in Portugal, they started like opening up everything. Literally until the 16th, people were like not allowed to leave the house. So if we arrived earlier, we would have been stuck in the hotel for like 2 weeks straight without being able to like properly go out. I think you could go out for like an hour or something. But like everything was closed, the restaurants were closed. You would have to constantly, order takeaway. And we're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like obvious, like there's no other way for the universe to tell us to kind of delay our flight. Maybe we got the signs when we were buying the tickets, but I don't know. We probably missed it. But anyway, even then, again, it was for us. Like it was in our favor. So that was one huge lesson there, like the lesson of surrendering. And obviously, 16th of April, we arrived to Portugal. Um, the process was smooth, but it was really funny. Like, in our country, so we were flying through Turkey. That's the only way. So in our country, we're like giving our documents, we're showing our visa, and the look on people's faces, like it was incredible. People were like, you're going to Europe? And we're like, yeah, but the border. And yeah, we know, but we have a visa. But how did they give you the visa? I don't know. They gave us the visa. It's there. You can see it. Okay, they're calling like places like, okay, there's two people, they have the visa, they have the special invitation, and no one knows about it. No one has ever heard about it. Everyone's like shocked, like, well, what is happening? Um, but they're, yeah, obviously we have the visa, so they let us go. But like, they're like literally taking pictures just to be sure that if they send us back, like it's not on them, right? So then we go to Istanbul, and same thing happens there. Their eyes are like where you're going where? Like you can't go there. And we're like, we have a visa, we have an invitation, blah blah blah. We explain the situation, and then they're like calling like other places, like and there's two people. How is this even possible? Obviously, they let us go because we had the documents. And so when we arrived to Portugal, we come to the border control, right? And so I'm like literally reliving the thing that I visualized, the experience that I visualized. And so we're there, we come to this window with the lady. She takes her documents, she looks around. Oh, okay, visa, you have the visa, you have blah blah blah, you have this letter. Oh, okay, welcome to Portugal. Stamps it, and that's it. No questions, everyone else was like, all these, like in Istanbul, in our country, everyone was like, oh my god, panicking. And here we go, we come to Portugal, everything is chill, and they're like, oh, okay, you have the papers, whatever, if they gave you the paper, they know what they're doing, and they just let us in, and we're just there. And I remember that feeling of, oh my god, oh my god, like I couldn't, like, we couldn't believe it. Like it was incredible. It was that feeling of, oh my god, like this is our new reality. And while people will be like, yeah, it's no big deal, like you just moved a country, no, it is a big deal for us to be able to relocate to Europe, like I always wanted to. Like it has to be official. You can't just move your like, if you're European, you just pack your bags and you move from Italy to Spain, and it's no big deal, right? But if you're like from outside of Europe, you can't just move. I mean, they've made it so complicated that, and yet it happened in such a magical way. Like we literally got invited, we got all the documents, and it was so easy. Like after we got to Portugal, getting our residencies, and all the documents, it was so easy. It was such a smooth process. And we've heard like horror stories about that, like bureaucracy, blah blah blah. It takes like months. We applied and we got it in like 1 month or something. It was the smoothest process ever. And it just shows that, this thing, we had to move. Like it was meant for us. But we had to learn a few important lessons on the way. And I think the universe picked a um, really, I don't know, like difficult kind of experience. Like because surrendering this thing was probably the hardest thing for us. When you achieve this thing and then suddenly you need to be like, okay, maybe it's not for me. It is so hard. And yet that is the thing that allowed us to have it in the easiest way. We didn't have to push, we didn't have to force. And I always tell my husband, like, if we um didn't send all these emails, if we didn't like, you know, try to contact all these people like for like 2, 3 months, like we would still be able, like there was a way, like we would suddenly get an idea to email just one embassy, and that would be the embassy that would end up giving us the visa. Like it could have been easier if we knew how to surrender from the get-go. But we're like the kind of people that we were really forcing things, and that was like a huge lesson for us. There was another surrender lesson that I really want to talk about. And I know it's a very long podcast by now, but I'm going to talk about it. So, we arrived to Portugal, and for a month or so we stayed in Lisbon. We started looking for a place to rent, but we just couldn't find anything. And so for the next 2 months, someone recommended this place north of Lisbon. Um, it's like a resort area, and we rented a house for like 2 months. It was a really beautiful place, really beautiful area. Um, like almost right in the middle of a forest, and like the beach was like 5 minutes there. Um, and so we're staying there. We just moved there and we just got a drone. We're like, oh my God, let's, try this whole, because at that time we were really like into like travel content. We had a different account. We were like posting travel videos and things like that. And we're like, oh my God, we need to get a drone, like our photos are going to be so cool, blah, blah, blah. So we got a drone and so my husband is just, he's testing it and he tested it and it's all fine. And now, like 2 days later, we want to take a video by the pool. So we go to the pool. There's like a little pool area next to the house. And so, I'm sitting there and he's taking the video, the drone goes up and it starts moving away. That's the program that we set. And then suddenly, my husband can see on the screen, it says engine error, and the drone starts flying away at a very high speed. The buttons are not working. You can't stop it. You can't do anything. It says engine error and it's just flying away. Like we're just sitting there looking at the drone and it's just going. It's like flying away, going and and then it disappeared. We're standing there in complete shock. Like engine error means the thing has to stop working and fall down, right? But no, engine error apparently meant that the thing is going to fly away, God knows where. And there's like a forest in there, right? It flew away. We can't see it. We're like shocked. It's a new drone. We just got it. And we're like, what? So now we're like, okay, we need to go like look for it, right? We can't just sit here. So we start looking for it. It starts raining. My husband is pissed. He's like, what is this? What the hell? Like we just got it. It's new. What are we supposed to do now? So we're looking for it. We can't find it anywhere. Obviously, like it could be literally stuck on top of a tree. Like we're not even gonna see it. And so so we get home. We're like, what? I was kind of like, okay, well, there probably is a solution. Or if not, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a new one. We paid all this money for it. But maybe there's a lesson in this that we can't see, right? So I'm like, I'm more chill, okay? My husband is like, not chill at all. So he's like, I'm going to email them. I'm going to be like, what the hell? We just got it. It's new. How could this happen? There was no wind or anything. There was a random engine error and it just flew away. So he's email. And I'm like, okay, I was like, okay, email them. So now he emailed them, but they're like, no, no, we can't do anything. It's your fault, blah, blah, blah. So, and he's trying to prove them. And this is going on like days, right? And I'm telling him, like, just let it go, right? Like, I don't know, let it go. Like, okay, let's not stress about this, right? There are more important things. We can always make the money. It's not important. But he's not letting go. Like, he's literally emailing them and, kind of like, I don't know what's the word, like not forcing them, but like being like, no, 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 it's your fault. Something goes wrong with the drone. You either refund it or you send us a new one. So eventually, like a week later, they were like, okay, we're gonna send you a new one. And now, okay, we're all happy, and I'm like, yeah, okay, they're gonna send us a new one. Like another day later, someone knocks on our door. We open the door, and there are these two women standing, and they go, did you guys have a drone that you lost? We're looking at them like, what? And we're like, yeah, we lost a drone. And they're like, oh, okay, we have it. Come with us. Like, we're in disbelief. Like, what? So we go after them. I mean, their house is kind of next to us, but not too next to us. Like, it took like 5 minutes to get there, to walk there. And so their son comes out and he's like, yeah, yeah, we arrived like 2 days ago. And we found this drone on the grass in our garden, just laying there, not damaged at all. And I figured, we were gonna open it and see what's inside so we can figure out whose drone it is. And they found that last video of us that we were trying to film, and they saw our faces, and then somehow, I still don't know how they found our house. I have no idea how. Like, they saw us somewhere? Probably not, because it's not like we didn't really walk around much, right? We were always like, we got into a car, we just went wherever we had to go and came back. Like, I have no idea how they found us. Like, it's still a big surprise to me. And so we were like shocked. We're like thanking them. Like, we can't believe this. We are so happy. Um, we now, and like 2 days later, the other drone arrives, like the new drone arrives. And now we have two drones. I'm like, and I'm telling my husband, I'm like, I told you not to email them. Like, I told you there will be either it's a lesson or there's something else. Like, somehow I just, like, we didn't have to kind of force the company to send us a new one. Like, because there was a lot of stress involved, right? It's not like you're sending an email and then you're like careless, right? You're like really stressed about it. Like, what the hell? Like you're in this energy of this is wrong. And it's not the energy of surrender. But anyway, so so now we have two drones. And we decided to go and like buy something for this family and to say thank you. And so next day we went, we bought something, and then we went and we knocked on their door, and no one opened. So we went there again the next day, and again the next day, and we kept on going there. I don't know, for like weeks, and there was no one there. So we were never able to give them the gift. But now it's almost like it was almost like they came to stay at their house for those like 2 3 days, specifically almost to find the drone and bring it back to us. And then they just left. Or they were ghosts. That's another theory that I just came up with yesterday. Literally, I was thinking about it. I was telling my husband, I was like, do you realize that maybe they could be ghosts? Like, maybe, you never know. I mean, they looked real. Probably they're not, but that's the theory. And so there was another lesson there. Like, if we surrendered from the get-go, we would still receive the drone. And now we have two drones. We haven't even opened the new one. And we haven't even used the one that we had that much. Like, it was kind of like we bought it, like it was fun, but like not a big deal, right? Like we didn't film that much, and we kind of like got tired of this whole travel and content thing very soon. But anyway, those were really big surrender lessons. And so if something is going not the way you planned, it doesn't mean it's going wrong. Listen to that again. Just because it's not going the way you planned or the way you wanted, doesn't mean it's going wrong. I'm gonna now. Ooh, wait. Okay. Um, I hope it was recording this whole time because my screen kind of froze. Wait, let me check. Okay, it seems like it's all well. So now I'm gonna answer your questions. Let me find them. Okay. Okay. What if I surrender and life gets more miserable than it is now? Why? Why would it? Um, Surrendering doesn't mean you are giving up. Doesn't mean that you're saying, I don't care what happens. No, you know what you want to happen. You have an idea of an outcome. But there's also a part of you which knows and understands that maybe what you want, that specific way you want it, is not the best way for you. Or maybe there is a better way that you can't see, and it's going to happen in a better way. Like, you just need to know that life is not out there to make you miserable, right? If you're thinking that you're going to surrender and then things are going to get worse, it's because fundamentally you think that life is unfair, life is difficult, bad things happen to you. You don't believe that you're here to experience life fully. You don't believe that you are here to live a happy, fulfilling life. You don't believe those things. And those are your subconscious beliefs. This is something that you need to reprogram. And I'm going to help you guys with this in my app. We're launching very soon, or we have already launched. I don't know. Depends on when you're hearing this. And so when you fundamentally believe that on the other side, there's your higher self, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your angels, the universe, God. Everyone is showing you a way to be happy. And in order to be happy and live a fulfilling life, you need to explore yourself. You need to know yourself. And I've said it a million times, the version of you that you are right now is not the real you, is not the truest version of you, is not the most authentic version of you, is not the most um how do I put it? Um clear version of you, right? There are a lot of subconscious programs that are not yours that you need to let go of. There are a lot of shadows that you need to kind of work through, right? And through that process, you're going to get to know yourself and you're going to step into your power, into this role of the creator of your life. And you need to know, I'm not even going to say believe or have faith or trust. No, no, you need to know with all your being that you are here to experience your best life. I literally kept on saying this affirmation. I am living my best life. Even though things were not the way I wanted to be, I kept on affirming that I am living my best life because that way I ended up attracting the things that really made me live my best life. But you need to first start feeling like you're living your best life in order for those things to come. And you need to know that surrendering simply means you are allowing the forces, the universe, to make it happen in the best way. You cannot know the best way. If you think you know the best way, I'm sorry, but you don't. Your human mind, your human perspective is so limited. And, you know, once you believe this and you understand that the, your higher self, part of your soul, is the force that you're supposed to trust in guiding you. You know, your higher self wants the best for you, obviously, right? If you, let's say you doubt that, you know, your spirit guides, your angels, the universe, they want the best for you, okay. But there is a part of your soul up there that obviously wants the best for you. And if you listen to that, you know, into your intuition, to your soul, you're always going to be guided. So surrender. If you can't surrender to the universe because you feel like the universe is not on your side, surrender to your higher self. Surrender and let your higher self guide you. Let your higher self give you ideas. Let your higher self show you the way. You need to be open. You need to be mindful. You need to see those signs. And when things are too difficult, they're not supposed to be. It can be easy. It can be smooth. Our belief that life is hard is creating difficulties in our life. If you start believing that life is easy, trust me, life is going to be easy. But it's not like you're going to repeat it once and suddenly your life is going to become easy. No, you need to reprogram your beliefs and, you know, um, and almost like upload new beliefs. And one way to do that is through repeating them all the time, even when things go wrong, even when it seems like everything is falling down, like literally, even if everything is falling down, you sit there and you repeat, it's all happening for me. I'm surrendering and the universe is guiding me. My higher self is guiding me. I am always guided to my best path. You need to know this. Like, you need to know that you cannot live a fulfilling life and not trust and know this. So, no, it's only gonna get better, I guarantee you. Okay, question number 2. Um, okay, maybe I need to answer this one first. How to surrender exactly? What does surrender mean to you? I got a couple of questions, the same questions. Like, what is surrender? From my example, I hope from the story that I shared with you, you guys understand what surrender means. You just allow yourself to let go of holding on to this thing that you want or the way it has to happen, and you allow the universe to show you a way or to even, you know, find the solution and let the solution come to you. um Surrender does not mean that you are not going to take any action, because surrender, when you're in this, you know, energy of surrender, sometimes you're going to receive like an idea, like send an email to this person, right? In our case, like if we didn't like obsessively try to contact everyone and try to, find a solution ourselves, or like through all these embassies and organizations, I'm pretty sure that at some point we would just get this idea to, you know, to message one embassy, or someone would tell us um, something that would make us think about, contacting this one embassy. Or maybe there's a different way this situation could have unfolded, a completely different way. It's just that we did not allow it. And we were forced to stop doing it the way we thought was right. We were forced to let go. And that's how it unfolded. We allowed the universe to take the lead, and we allowed the solution to come to us. If it's not coming to you, and you haven't received any ideas that you could kind of implement and pursue, maybe this thing is not the thing that you are meant to pursue. It's not the way you're meant to go. Like, it really depends on the situation, right? And you need to be mindful enough to realize when it's time to surrender and when it's time to act upon the ideas that are coming to you. But the ideas should not come from fear, from lack, from scarcity, from I have to do this. No. Your energy needs to be like expansive. You need to be like, this feels good to do. Let me do it. And still not be attached to the outcome. Like, let's say we surrendered from the get go and nothing was happening for months. We would still be like, yeah, okay. When it's meant to happen, it's gonna happen. And then suddenly we would have this idea to email this embassy. And we emailed them, but we still wouldn't be attached to like, oh my God, are they gonna reply? Oh my God, is this gonna work? No, the ideal way would be to just email them and be like, yeah, maybe it's this way, maybe it's not. If it's not, something else is gonna come up, and either I'm gonna try, or I'm gonna take a step, or there will be another solution. You always have to know that there are many ways for you to get to where you want to go. Sometimes you want things that are not even good for you because you've been influenced to want them. That's like a whole different episode. I'm going to have a lesson about fake dreams and true dreams in my app. So make sure you join so you can, learn all these things. But anyway, surrendering means that you're allowing the universe, God, your higher self, to take the lead. You're stopping your fear leading. You're stopping um your I have to, I need to do this. You're stopping those kind of energies from leading how you take action. And you take action, aligned action, from a place of gratitude, ease, relaxation, flow, right? It doesn't have to be hard. Next, when you're surrendering, and when are you surrendering and when are you not taking action? I find that difficult. The thing is, um, in most cases, it's better to wait and see what kind of ideas you have to take action. But again, as I said previously, what is the energy with which you're taking the action? You need to pay attention to that. If you're like, oh my God, if I don't send this email, I'm never gonna get this thing. You see, there's a lot of like lack, scarcity, fear, worry, doubt, right? Don't do it that way. If you're sending an email and you're like, maybe it's this, or maybe there will be something else, let me just do this in a very playful, fun energy. And you do it and nothing happens, yeah, okay. Like, you need to be in that energy. Yeah, okay, there's something better. And of course, you need to practice this. Of course, it's not going to be easy. So something happened to my recording. Apparently, I did not, I took a pause and then I did not click record. Okay. Um, so I was answering this question about When do we let go and when we keep asking and like slash manifesting our dream? So you're always manifesting. Your subconscious beliefs are constantly shaping your reality. I'm starting to get a sore throat. Um, you're always manifesting. So you're never gonna stop doing your manifestation practices. You're gonna stop obsessing over your dreams. You're gonna stop obsessing over how it comes to you, over how it happens. You're just gonna, create from a place of ease and playfulness, and you're going to do your practices. You're going to meditate, you're going to journal, you're going to write your intentions, but it's going to be like, yeah, it's happening. You're going to focus on being in the energy of the version of you that is already living that dream. Like your energy, your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, as much as possible, need to be as if it has already happened in your reality. And while you're still going to be doing all these practices, right, and saying your affirmations, they are needed so that you can rewire your subconscious beliefs, subconscious programs, because they are literally shaping your reality. But surrender is about the dream itself, right? If when you surrender, you're like, this is something I want, right? This is my dream, but maybe there's something better, right? Maybe I don't see it yet. Um, and I'm gonna let the universe show me. Or you're gonna be like, okay, I think this is how I can get to my dream or how I can, make it happen. But I'm also surrendering how it's gonna happen because the universe obviously knows a better way. The universe is not gonna waste energy like you are wasting your energy, like we were wasting our energy sending a gazillion emails. The universe knows one perfect way this thing can happen for you. And if you allow it, the universe is gonna bring you that way. So it's not about stopping manifesting versus surrendering. No, you surrender the outcome and you surrender how that happens, but you're still manifesting at the same time. It's just that you're not obsessing over it. You're not like it, you're not so attached to how it's gonna happen or if it's gonna happen or when it's gonna happen. Um when do we know that dream is never gonna happen and just let go instead of daydreaming? Well, first of all, if you know that the dream is never gonna happen, why are you daydreaming? Second of all, how can you know that your dream is not going to happen? I think I spoke with this person. It was about, finding a job, but at the same time, she was starting her business. And in her case, there was misalignment that it's either you want your business to work or you want to find a job. You can't do both at the same time. As in, first of all, the version of you that has a business is different from the version of you that um, has a job. You can have a job to be able to finance your business, right? That's what a lot of people do. That's not what we did, but um, you need to understand that it's not going to be easy because you're going to be splitting your energy, right? You're literally like most of your energy is going to go to your job and then a little bit of your energy is going to go into your business. You need to know that, and if that's okay, then it's okay. But if you're really serious about your business, I say put 100% energy into your business, into making it happen if you can, financially, right? I also think that there's probably other ways to make it happen. Um, in her case, she meant that the dream is to find that specific job in that specific niche. And I told her, why? Why are you so stuck to this specific industry niche? Is it because you think that working there is cool or prestigious and you've been influenced to think that if you work in this industry, people are going to think that you're successful, that you are this cool person, right? So yeah, that was about that. Um, okay, next. How to surrender when manifesting money and business clients. Mm, you just do whatever feels good to you, right? You stop obsessing. Surrendering means, if I have to put it in like two sentences, surrendering means you stop obsessing. You stop placing so much value into the outcome that you want. knowing that there could be something better or there could be a better way to do it, right? Um, Manifesting money is not about manifesting money. um, I, I mean, I could make a million videos about that. There will be a lot on money in my app, but not right away. Like you're gonna have to unlock certain levels to get to those like lessons. You probably know that in my app, every day you're gonna open a new mission. Those are like small steps that you take daily, and then every mission gives you points. Then you accumulate points, and points kind of add up to levels, and every level has like a more in-depth reward, like a practice, a lesson, and things like that. So as you kind of progress, and the process of this whole thing, like how missions unlock, like what kind of missions you receive every day, what you need in the start of your journey and what you need in the middle of your journey, all these things have been thoroughly thought of. Like it's not random. And so, down the line there will be a lot about money, manifesting money, but the concept of surrender is the same regardless of what you're manifesting. um how to trust and how to be in that surrendered state. And then there's another one: how do I actually surrender? I think I answered that, but I'm going to say it again. You just know that there is a better way and that your human perspective is limited. Again, I hope my story was able to explain what it meant. And there's another question, was that how to tell if you surrender or you give up on something. In a way, when we said there that maybe this is not meant to happen for us, we kind of, people could say, did you give up on your dream? And I would say, no, I did not give up on my dream. I still want this. But I'm allowing myself to see that there could be something better. There could be an easier way. There could be something different. Maybe I don't see it, right? And I'm allowing that in my reality. I'm allowing a bigger force to do something for me. I think it's also about receiving. Like we're not used to receiving. We think we need to fight for everything. We need to struggle for everything. We need to like demand the things that we want. And that is the masculine energy. Especially us women, we need to be like, it's gonna come to me. Allow yourself to receive ideas, allow the universe to do stuff for you. Allow yourself to be in this easy, flowy, playful energy. That's when life is gonna get fun. And trust me, you're going to manifest even faster when you're in that frequency of joy and gratitude and happiness and, having fun in life. People are scared that if they start having fun in life, nothing is going to happen for them because they start feeling guilty for having fun instead of like being productive and working and, deserving. You inherently deserve everything you want in life. Inherently, it's your birthright. You deserve everything you want. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to be anyone. You don't need to change anything to you already deserve it. You need to know this. Stop telling yourself that you need to do something to deserve whatever it is that you want. And so I think that's also related. Um what came just before the surrender? I think this question is about my story. And yeah, I think I answered that question. How do we feel truly content when there's something bothering us or people are hurting you? I don't think this is related to surrender much, but people hurting you or something bothering you is about the things that, that trigger you, right? It's your shadows. We're gonna have a lot on shadow work in my app. I've made a ton of content, even on my Instagram, around this, so I think I'm not gonna answer this now. Um, how to identify, formulate what I have to surrender to. I'm not sure what this question. I think I replied to this person, but this person did not reply to me. So I don't know what that means, but I think I answered the question. I spoke about surrender, um, I think fully. I want to surrender, but then I'm like, I should keep trying. What do I do What do I do? Keep trying or surrender and give up? Surrendering is not giving up. Again, I explained that. Um, Trying is the energy of, oh my God, if I don't do this, it's not going to happen. It's lack, it's fear, it's worry, it's doubt. You need to know that if this is good for you, for your highest good, like if this experience, if this thing is going to expand you, is going to allow you to fulfill your potential, it's going to come to you. All you need to do is, be in the receiving energy, work on your frequency, elevate your frequency, vibrate at like a higher frequency, love, gratitude, do your manifestation practices. It's going to come to you. You don't need to keep trying, because trying is this forcing, like, I have to do this, I need to do this. And as I said previously, that's not the energy that you're meant to be in. That's not the energy that manifests anyway. You could keep on trying all you want. It's not going to happen. How do I know that the situation is worth surrendering or is not worth surrendering? I'm not sure what this means. Um, hmm. Um, so whatever it is that you want to happen in your life, whatever the situation is, you don't need to force it to happen. You need to allow it to happen. A lot of things don't happen in our lives because we don't allow it to happen. So be in the energy of, I am allowing it to come to me. And at the same time, you know, work on yourself, become your truest, most authentic self. Learn who you are, explore yourself. I mean, look into your triggers, do the shadow work, meditate, all these things, but without forcing, without trying, right? In the energy of playfulness. Um, why can't we easily surrender? Because we're so attached to how we think this thing has to happen, how we think, what we think needs to happen. We think that we know it all. It's almost like we're trying to play God in a way. There was someone else who said, I had a conversation with that person. She was like, I fear that, I'm going to lose everything if I don't keep trying to kind of control the situation. And I'm like, but you're trying to control people. You're telling people that the way they are is wrong. They need to be a certain way. And she's like, yeah, but they're dysfunctional. And I'm like, no, you think they're dysfunctional. We're trying to control people. We're trying to make them do things our way. Again, it's almost like we're playing God. You can't know. You can't know what's best for them. You can only know what's best for you. If someone is hurting you, there are two ways. You either leave, or a healthier way would be, look within and try to figure out, why is that thing triggering me? Why am I feeling this way? Because the person, the situation is only reinforcing, reflecting back something that's already within you. I always say, if you think you're fat and someone calls you fat, it's going to trigger you, it's going to hurt you. If you don't believe you're fat and someone calls you fat, you're not going to care. So, if that situation is triggering you, it's about you and healing and, looking within, and there's something that needs to, be reprogrammed or healed, etc. So you can't control people, and you shouldn't think that you need to control people. You can only work on yourself and allow the outside world, the external world, to reflect what's within you. And if you don't like what your outside reality looks like, you need to change something within you. By change, I don't mean become someone else. By change, I mean become the real you. The version of you that you are right now is not the real you. When you start shedding all the conditioning, all the layers of, subconscious programming that have influenced you throughout your life, all the programs that are not yours, people telling you things, society dictating something, all this is not yours. Underneath it all, when you start reprogramming those things, underneath it all, you're going to find the real, true version of you. Okay, I think I answered that. I think I answered most of your questions. This is a very long episode. Okay. Thank you for being here, and message me if you wanna, if you have questions, if there's something you wanna ask. My DMs are always open to you guys. I always answer, and I still get surprised when people are like, "Oh my God, you answered." Yeah, I always answer. That's why I have a page. That's why I share content, so that we can talk and so that I can, you know, share what I know, share what I've been through. That's the point. Okay, thank you for being here. Love you. Bye bye.